Audio on. Alrighty then. Welcome to Fluff, you sexy bitches, and welcome to SCP reading. SCP reading time. What? Oh boy. Oh, she has a snake now. Yeah, well, that's out of nowhere. At least for me, it feels like. Wait, what's happening over here? Why am I here? Twitter, gone, be gone. It's reading time. There's no. Henry is with us, and I think you know what. For SCP reading, we should definitely get an atmospheric feel to it, right? Am I right, boys and girls? Am I right? Well, maybe not as dark as. Although you know. It might be cool. Oh god, I can see my Discord just flooding. Hey now. Weekends will be easier for me. I just need to make sure some people know that I'm streaming. You got time to join stream? Or you rather suffer alone? Just as a little joke between friends. Because I know my friend Liam, he's currently indisposed, so he can't join us. But yeah. I think. How much time has passed? 4 minutes, huh? Yeah, I think we should not delay any longer or wait any longer. We should just go. Go. What is the first one? SCP 68860 is blue key. Okay. It is definitely very blue. High rating as well, damn. Oh, we got some side stories. Maybe this might be the reason why there's a high rating. I don't know if nobody's here to tell me if the audio is loud enough on my side, like if the beach sound is too loud or not. We don't know. Okay, it is considered safe. SCP-6, my god. 8. SCP-860 is to be contained in a small wooden box in a vault at sector blank by itself. The object is inert and no further containment procedures are needed. Description: SCP-860 is a dark blue key of unremarkable shape. At seemingly random intervals of time, a series of numbers later found to be UTM coordinates will appear on the keyblade. The keyblade! In the time SCP-860 has spent under containment, the number have changed 3 times, giving the coordinates for blank Germany, blank England, and side blank. Oh. It gave the coordinates of the Foundation. That good thing you have this secured, because imagine somebody found this and found out it was coordinates and was like, what would this be? And they just bump into the SCP Foundation like, what the hell is all this? SCP-860 can fit in any door lock that requires a key located in the area of given coordinates and will function identically to the correct key for that lock. So if I'm not sure how exact the coordinates are. Are coordinates like a big area, or is it just a specific, like small, like a block of houses? SCP-860 only works on door locks and only if they are attached to a door. It will not work on any other type of locking device. Okay, so the window locks doesn't work. It has to be a door. This is what's interesting because Doorman, for example, he considers a window a door, or anything that basically creates a barrier between 2 rooms, or outside and inside. Basically, Doorman would consider that as a door. But this key is very specific. It's like, it has to be an actual door, one that you open up. When SCP-860 is used to unlock an open door, the door does not lead to its usual destination. Instead, it opens into a small forest clearing centered on an 80 cm wide footpath designated -1. Every observation of this groove has noted the presence of blue-colored mist. if you said that the whole world was blue, then I would have been like, oh, this is why the song "I'm Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die" exists. Somebody found this key and opened up a door and was just like, I'm blue dabba dee dabba die. As soon as any person enters -1, the door automatically closes. No, that's not scary at all. From inside -1, the door appears attached to an infinite concrete wall and is locked. No attempts to break the door from outside with personnel inside -1 have been successful. Attempts to break the door from inside -1 have resulted in redacted. See document 3, which is right down there, for more details. Or we gonna get some more details. The trail inside -1 usually leads to another door attached to another infinite concrete wall. This second door leads to the normal destination room of the door on which SCP-860 was used. A number of other anomalous events have been reported by personnel conducting exploration of -1. These are explained in more detail in document 860-I through... so 1 and 4. Roman numbers. Following... Ow, my elbow? It's sensitive right now. Following the events of Exploration 4 described in Document 4, only Level 4 personnel may perform tests on SCP-860. Incident blank 12 on blank days after Exploration 4, SCP-860 was found on Dr. Blank's office table, blank meters from its containment unit. The item's containment lock had not been opened. Video surveillance from blank AM shows that the key suddenly materializing on top of the table. It is currently unknown how or why SCP-860 was moved. The incident had a profound effect on Dr. Blank. Psychiatric evaluation is recommended. Addendum. Below are the transcripts of Exploration 1 to 4. Level 2 personnel and above may access documents 1 to 2. And level 4 personnel and above may access document 3 and 4. Well, we're none of that, but we're still going to have a little look-see now, shall we? yeah. Below are the transcripts of Exploration 1 and 2 into -1. Oh, this gonna be fun to read. This gonna be a blast. Exploration 1 realized on blank. Well, okay, Exploration 2 on blank as well. Exploration 1. D3456 is a 31-year-old Caucasian male of average build. Psychological background is unremarkable. Class D designation is the result of a demotion due to data expunged. D3456 is equipped with an LED flashlight, a handheld camcorder fitted with a transmission stream, and an audio headset for communication with Dr. Blank at control. D3456 and inserts SCP-860 in the door leading to an abandoned house on blank street, blank, Germany. I'm sorry that I laughed because I forgot that he has a key for a moment. Like, I know the whole SCP is a key, but when I read D3456 inserts, I thought he inserted himself, and I was like, that's a weird way to phrase walking through a door. Oh, hey, come on in. Oh, don't mind if I insert myself into your house. like, you know what I mean? I thought that was what's going to say, so I was like, oh, hold on. Maybe don't say that. That's kind of weird. He turns the key and opens the door, revealing -1. D3456 staggers.
Please proceed.
D3456 hesitates, then passes through the door. After he takes 2 steps, a loud bang is heard. D3456 turns quickly, the door is closed and attached to a large concrete wall. D3456 moves towards it and attempts to turn the knob. This blank is locked. How the hell am I supposed to?
Please follow the trail, D3456. The exit should be on the other side.
D3456 sighs and turns around and walks down the trail. After walking 64 meters, D3456 stops. Did you hear that?
No sound came through the audio feed.
It sounded like a howl or something. Came from the woods, seemed far away.
A howl? Like a wolf?
No, not exactly. Sounded weird, distorted.
Please proceed down the trail. No, there's no halls. It's a forest. The forest don't have halls. I'm a bit drunk.
Doctor, you shouldn't be drunk on the job, especially not this job.
Fuck you, it doesn't matter what job it is, I had a good time. I'm having a good time right now.
Well, not me. D346 starts walking again with increased speed. After 43 meters, the mist starts to thicken and acquire a deeper shade of blue. I'm blue, da ba dee da ba die. Yo, listen up, this is the story. About a blue key that opens up and falls into a blue foggy mist. Doesn't hit as well, that lyrics, does it, as the original? It's starting to get really hard to see here. This blank flashlight isn't. D3456 suddenly starts to turn around, shouting, "Blank, blank! Did you hear it now?"
Nothing came from the audio feed, D3456. What did you hear?
Same thing as before. Closer. How the bleep didn't you hear it? It was.
Please continue to follow the trail, D3456.
No, you don't get it. A loud roar can be heard coming from D3456 left, so this time they can actually hear it, maybe? D3456 screams and starts running down the trail. Every 10 seconds, the sound of steps coming from behind D456 can be heard, starting off distant and increasing in volume until they appear to be less than 1 meter from D3456, at which point they stop. After running 68 more meters, D3456 reaches a large concrete wall with a door in it. D3456 kicks the door open, revealing the main hall of the abandoned house. D3456 enters, turns around, and closes the door. 2 minutes later, he opens the door again, revealing blank street. D3456 shows extreme paranoia for the following weeks, claiming to hear the same howl in the distance when alone. Effects seem to fade after blank weeks. D3456 now behaves normally. Close analysis of the audio feed revealed that a very low sound could be heard the second time D3456 stopped. So okay, maybe the whatever. What did they use to record audio? LD handheld camcorder and an audio headset for communication. Well, okay, so the camcorder. Yeah, so the camcorder probably didn't hear it the first time, and the second time only barely. Maybe give him a mic or something that just records sound a bit better. Not just a camcorder. That's not gonna be enough, dude. Exploration 2. D5674 is a 27-year-old South Asian female of below average physical fitness. I feel like after the first experiment, you should have somebody above average physical fitness. Because I feel like a lot of people have to book it. With this guy, with this SCP. Otherwise, psychological background indicates extreme xenophobia. Subject has an extensive record of data expunged. D5674 is equipped with an LED flashlight, a handheld camcorder filled with a transmission stream, and an audio headset for communication with Dr. Blank at control. D5674 inserts SCP-860 into the door leading to an abandoned house on Blank Street, Blank, Germany. She turns the key on and opens the door, revealing -1. D5674 passes through the door. After she takes 2 steps, a loud bang is heard. Where's my thing? D5674 turns. The door is closed and attached to a large concrete wall.
God fucking damn it, Jesus Christ. Follow the trail.
It's not fully clean.
Follow the trail, D5674. The exit is on the other side.
A bit better. D5674 turns around and walks down the trail. After 94 meters, D5674 stops and turns to the woods. Did you see that?
What?
Did you see those?
Yes?
D5674 is silent.
What did you see?
D5674 does not respond. 12 seconds later, she resumes walking down the trail.
D5674, please report what you saw. We need...
It was nothing. Mist must have tricked me. D5674 walks for 10 more meters before stopping again. So now she's like 104 meters into the forest. Believe the previous one was not that far because he went like, what was it, like 64 and then 42. So he was like, oh, actually no, he was 107. So like they're like 3 meters away from the same spot.
D5674, why did you stop?
Silence. Can't you hear it?
What?
It's calling me. I have to go. Wait, what do you mean it's calling you? Excuse me. I hope it's better than my normal voice.
D5674, you can't.
The D5674 removes the headset and puts the camera on the ground, facing the trees. She proceeds to walk off the trail into the woods until she disappears from sight. Nothing more happens until the camera batteries run down. Addendum, the door leading into the abandoned house remains closed. Attempts to remove the key from the lock failed, as did all attempts to open or break the door. 7 months after the incident, the door suddenly opened and discharged a very old Asian woman. When questioned, she affirmed herself to be D5674. He refused to elaborate on what happened after she left the camera on the ground, even under extreme pressure. Subject was found to be much calmer and more polite than before exploration 2, and apart from talking about what occurred to her inside -1, followed every order issued to her without complaints. 2 weeks later, she died in her sleep of natural causes. Huh. Okay, so the 3456 absolute horror show and D5674 just spent her life in that forest and became a much better person. That is interesting, but we still have much more to explore.
We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet.
Below the transcripts of Exploration 3 and 4 into -1. Exploration 3 and 4 realized on blank blank blank. Exploration 3. D2562 is a 35-year-old Caucasian male of strong build. Psychological background indicates they look expunged. Subject shows a record of violent behavior under pressure and is responsible for the murder of blank people. Yeah, here we go. Maybe he will... Let's see, I want to know. I want to know if it has to do with like the psychological background, why certain things happen. D2567... what am I saying? D2562 is equipped with an LED flash and a handheld camcorder filled with a transmission stream, an audio headset for communication with Dr. Blank at control, and a fire axe. Okay, so he can defend himself. Good. But, again, you guys need to give people something better than a camcorder to record sound. I'm just saying. I know it's maybe not that easy to do that, but you probably should. D2562 inserts SCP-860 in the door leading to the house of Mr. Blank located on Blank Street, Blank, England. He turns the key and opens the door, revealing -1. D2562 hesitates, then proceeds through the door. After it takes 2 steps, a loud bang is heard. D256 turns, the door is closed and attached to a large concrete wall. Now. What?
Please use the axe provided to destroy the door.
You sure?
Please do as instructed.
D2562 places the camera on the ground, facing himself on the wall, and proceeds to hit the door with the axe. He hits the door 4 times before quickly turning around. Did you... Bleep! Did you hear that?
No sound came through the audio feed.
It was a bleep loud roar, man. How could you not?
Please calm down and proceed with your task.
D2562 keeps looking at the woods.
D2562, please remember our agreement. If you don't follow instructions...
Yeah, I know that. It's just... Okay, no problem. D2562 resumes his attempt at destroying the door. After he has hit the door twice, a small piece of wood breaks off. Seemingly encouraged by this, D2562 proceeds to hit the door harder. After 9 blows, an extremely loud roar is heard. D2562 screams and starts swinging the axe in the direction of the camera. A large dildo sponge power appears in front of the lens. D2562 charges and dildo expunged. The sounds of dildo expunged could be heard for blank hours after that, long after the camera batteries ran out, and showed no signs of stopping. Dr. Blank decided to cut the other feed after blank out. Okay, so the feed just, even though the cameras died, apparently the feed just went on. Interesting. So it looks like D2562 and 3456 met the same creature. But why did 5674 not meet this creature? Well, here we go. Exploration 4. Blank. From now on referred as Subject 1 is a 41-year-old African-American male of above average build. Psychological background shows no abnormality. Subject volunteered for the exploration. Subject 1 is equipped with an LED flashlight, a handheld camcorder, variable transmission stream, and an audio headset for communication with Dr. Blank at control. Yeah, okay, I assume I assume the headset is wait. Does the headset have a mic, or are they literally hearing? No, it must be the headset because they put the camera down, so it can't be the camcorder that has the mic on. So the headset just has a really shitty mic. Subject 1 inserts SCP-860 into the door leading to an empty room inside Blank. He turns the key and opens the door, revealing Dash 1. Subject 1 proceeds through the door. After he takes 2 steps, a loud bang is heard. The door is closed. No?
Yes, please follow the trail. The exit will be on the other side.
Subject 1 proceeds to walk down the trail. The groove shows notable differences from previous explorations. The mist has acquired a slight red hue. And incomprehensible murmurs are heard through the audio feed, although Subject 1 seems unaware of them. Subject walks for 123 meters. He walked 20 meters further than D3456. No, than D5674. Okay. Place seems different from what you described, Doc. It's giving me the... Wait. The hell? Subject stops in front of him. The trail forks into 2 paths, one of which is made of cobblestones. Doc, which way should I go? And this is new.
We haven't seen it manifest like this before.
Well, I guess I'll... Oh! Blank. Subject 1 turns around. The trail has disappeared. Thousands of trees have replaced it. The mist suddenly turns still expunged, and the murmurs increase in volume. Blank. Doc, what the hell, man? What the blank is going on here? What is this noise?
Please calm down and proceed down the cobblestone trail.
I'm not a blank guinea pig, Doc. Just because I volunteered, I don't Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Itchy.
What? Blank, respond. What do you see?
Subject 1 starts screaming and proceeds to run through the cobblestone path. The murmur suddenly ceases and only Subject 1 screams can be heard. He runs 143 meters before the camera is suddenly thrown into the ground. Subject 1 screams, sees the camera is turned towards the woods. The mist is now thick enough to block sight completely beyond 2 meters. Blank.
Do you hear me?
Did expunged.
Blank. Did expunged. Oh god. Oh god.
There's no further response from Subject 1. 3 seconds before the camera battery ran out, a very low noise was heard. Analysis of the video feed showed 2 glowing yellow spheres for 1 frame in the last second of the video. This is what people are scared of if they ever go to like a forest that has fog. They're just scared of something popping out like that. This was a very good one. And it's crazy that it's safe, but it makes sense why it's safe, because you need to actually activate the key and do that stuff. But my god, dude. So there was somebody who volunteered. He wasn't D-class. He just was a volunteer. That is new. I never seen that before. I didn't do my thing where I have to guess what the SCP is. Blue key. Well, it was a key that's blue, so couldn't have gone for a fallen angel. Well, I just assume that's what it is. It's an actual. Probably it's not. It's the SCP Foundation. Although listen, the SCP Foundation. The titles sometimes are like very direct and sometimes not direct. Sometimes they say like it says something you're like, well, it can only be that, right? And then it is. And sometimes you read like the title, A Fallen Angel, and your first thing is like, oh, it must be an actual angel that fell down. But then it might be something completely else. I don't know. It might be a goddamn, I don't know, a bird that has angel wings but can't fly. I don't know, something like that. Well, we'll see. Well, we know it's keto, so it ain't good. Well, I guess with fallen angels, like even the biblical lore, a fallen angel never really was a good sign. SCP-6, oh my god, not again. SCP-861 is contained at Sector 135-861, which is located 370 meters southwest of the main site. All personnel assigned to Sector 135-861 must be cleared by Protocol Narthex 861 prior to transfer. This entails a score of 63 or... My god, what is wrong? Now 8 and 6 have the same problem. 83 or above on the Foundation standard compliance. Examination SCE version 4 and a passing score on 2 additional personality examination devised by Dr. Blank Chancy. No personnel regardless of security clearance are to be allowed on site without Narthex approval. At least one personnel with Narthex approval must remain on site and within 50 meters of SCP-861 at all times, barring choir events. A choir event? Like a singing choir? Does he like show up and suddenly you have a whole choir going, something like that? I don't know. No D-class personnel are allowed on site bearing those for approved -A testing. SCP-861 is contained in an open 1,500 liter steel crate and housed in an 8x4x8 meter concrete vault. Personnel are not to make direct contact with SCP-861. Personnel are to respect a 40 meter to no access perimeter around SCP-861, which may only be violated for the purpose of experimentation or recovery. Level 3 or lower personnel that violate this distance for any reason are to be administered Class A amnestics. The containment chamber must be opened immediately during a choir event, and the provoking subject should be subdued to expedite completion of the event. The resulting entity is then to be terminated. See document NAVE 861 for details. Following the event, personnel to return SCP-861 to its crate via electronic suction. Only security and mobile task force personnel with clearance for Narthex will be employed in termination and recovery. Description: SCP-861 is a 1,170 liter mass of liquid superficially resembling water with a fixed temperature of 27 degrees centigrade. Any amount of the material that is forcibly displaced from the central mass will dissipate, and SCP-861 will generate an equal amount of new material to replace this loss. SCP-861 continuously emits a flame of variable color, generally violet or indigo. This flame generates no identified heat and is non-hazardous to contact. The mass is capable of locomotion through an unidentified process and is capable of scaling any surface at an observed maximum speed of 47 km per hour. SCP-861 gravitates towards the presence of human beings, a distance of approximately 50 meters or closer being sufficient to determine presence. If while traveling SCP-861 is obstructed, it will increase in mass until said obstruction is destroyed by the exerted pressure. SCP-861 will return to its normal size shortly thereafter. Human beings with a radius of roughly 30 meters surrounding SCP-861 report hearing a continuous vocalization producing a song in an unknown language. The choir event. a choir of angels. No physical acoustic components to this phenomenon has been detected. The vocalization is described by a subject as a vaguely human voice of indeterminate gender. A complete phonetic transcript of the song has been documented with approximate duration of 7 minutes 45 seconds. But see, now I could have never guessed that this, like, the fact that this angel has a choir is kind of funny. And you know what? I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be all alone and in the dark. But the fact that this angel has a choir, I could have maybe guessed that because of the stereotype of like every time an angel shows up, suddenly like the choir is just a soundtrack. But I would never have guessed that it was made out of 1,170 liters of liquid. That's something I could not have guessed. Subject exposed to SCP-861 will allege that they understand fragments of the lyrics, but will deny any familiarity with the language. The quantity of the song material understood, as well as its as well as its placement within the overall composition, vary widely from the subject to subject. A compilation of I just realized I need to check on my friend. So, the quantity of song material understood as well as its placement within the overall composition vary widely from subject to subject. A compilation of blank tests indicate a correlation between subjects with certain prominent... Yo, welcome to the Fluff exhibition. Welcome to the SCP stream. How you doing? How's up? Now I'm getting bombarded. Would you? You don't have to. Okay, I gotta do this real quick now. Oof, was gonna request a book, lol. Sorry dude, no. This is specific. Oh, I just now realized the text is white on white. That doesn't work. How did this happen? Since when was this going on? Let's see here. Chat box. This should not be white. It usually is black. How dare this? How dare this? There we go. Maybe because like the others. Oh yeah. I remember why. Because my other streams and settings, the text usually is white because the background was black. Yeah, that might be a problem. But yeah, with a white background, having white text would not be a good idea. Yeah, sorry about requesting the book. Doesn't work here. Because every weekend, Saturday, Sundays, I read 10 SCPs, and that's basically what this stream is all about. The title says it all. But now I need to help a friend out real quick. I can help her out and a compilation indicate a correlation between subjects with certain prominent character traits, including kindness, patience, and humility, and song comprehension. These subjects demonstrated a comprehension percentage as high as 89%, allowing for... You ever read light novels? No, I do not. And if I do, then not on stream. I don't do a lot of reading streams except SCP alone because there's a shit ton of these things and I want to get through them. So this is a way to motivate me to get through them. Why is the text so white? Because that's something else. That's not the right one. Here we go. That should do it. There she is. Allowing for a blank percentage of the song to be translated, see document transcript 861 for details. SCP-861 will demonstrate a reaction to certain subjects that has since been designated a choir event. These individuals appear to possess cruel and arrogant character traits, ostensibly the antithesis of the traits required for song comprehension. Though data in this area is limited due to the hostility from SCP-861, subjects capable of provoking a choir event describe the entity's song as entirely incomprehensible. The psychological threshold for provoking a choir event has not been entirely determined, but appears to be sensitive. Okay. So far, not so bad. It is keto, so I'm surprised it hasn't done anything batshit crazy yet. I mean, the fact that it sings and makes you go, this is nice. This is not really that bad of a deal so far. It is keto, so we have to be a bit careful with what it could potentially do. Okay, here we go. SCP-861 will demonstrate a reaction to certain subjects that has since been designated a choir event. These individuals appear to possess cruel and arrogant character traits, ostensibly the traits... wait, did I just read this? And the traits required for the song throughout the day in this area limited to hostility. Yeah, I did. I'm done. Choir events consist of SCP-861 advancing upon the subject and forcing itself inside their body. Wait, excuse me. Choir events consist of SCP-861 advancing upon the subject and forcing itself inside their body using various orifices as access Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It should be noted that the termination of the subject will not prevent SCP-861's reaction or the completion of the event. Once this is complete, they look expunged. Various forms designated SCP-861-A. Observed forms include... That is... Okay, so as we now know, this thing is a giant mass of liquid. It sings to you, and at first you're like, I feel at peace. I feel nice. But then after a while you go like... You become, as it says, cruel and arrogant character traits, and then this thing just wobbles towards you, and then just goes down your throat, your ears, your nose, any orifices, so probably up your ass. I'm just saying, it might do that, say that as well. And now we find out what it does. A vaguely humanoid entity with elongated arms, 2.7 meters, underdeveloped legs terminating in crude tendrils, and a quasi-prehensile elongated neck, 1.6. Ugh. Imagine that walking up to you in a dark alley. A cluster of ophidian entities, roughly 50 centimeters in length. Each entity possessed a head resembling that of a humanoid infant. A humanoid soldier, possibly of 4th or 5th century Anatolian origin, they look expunged, consistent with extra-dimensional origin. Destruction of entity resulted in destruction of 15% of Sector 135-861 and the creation of a spatial anomaly which deteriorated 45 hours after the onset. Oh boy, it is done. That's nasty. That's disgusting. That's what it does to you. Regardless of its current shape, -A emits a flame similar to that of its resting state, but in a white or golden hue. The entity will attempt to eject this flame at any human target in the vicinity. Upon contact, said target will become engulfed in the flames and be rendered completely unresponsive, but will stand with their eyes closed for as long as they were physically able. Unlike SCP-861's normal flames, however, the subject will burn over a period of 2 to 3 hours. Flames produced by burning human organic material will reproduce. The song, which it says here, subject exposed to the song in this state will still demonstrate a comprehension based on the previous stated factors. Normally produced by SCP-861 at the rest, though at a different pitch. How this occurs is unknown. Flames ejected by SCP-861-A will quickly dissipate if they do not reach a human target and do not appear to ignite any substance other than living human beings. After any SCP-861-A entity is terminated, its body will exude SCP-861, which will return to a resting state. And here we have an addendum which we have to open up to see more. So addendum 1, document transcript, transept 861 clearance, 4. So like a level 4 required, okay. The following is an excerpt from the translated transcript of SCP-861 song. 3 rings, yet one isn't the same. We are wheels which serve the rings. Born of flame, made only to serve. Yet our right is more than our worth. I don't know, I'm just adding some sing-songy to that, but maybe that's not a good idea, because I don't know I don't know, I never was in a choir, I don't know how that shit is sung. A hypothetical link between SCP-861 origin and the blank class of Redacted has been proposed. This is supported by forms observed during choir events blank and message 861-1 see below. My nose is itchy. However, so long as current protocols remain sufficient, the Abrahamic properties of SCP-861 have been deemed unnecessary information in regards to containment teams. As such, the theological procedure involved in the termination of SCP-861-A instances, Protocol 861-NAVE, have been reserved for Level 4 security personnel at Sector 135-861. On blank blank 19 blank and blank blank 2000 blank, 2 additional entities now designated dash blank and dash blank with marked similarities to SB861 were discovered in blank Italy and blank Brazil, respectively. These entities have been contained in the same manner as SB861 at psi blank and psi blank. The appearance of these entities correlates with the timeline of XK blank as depicted in SB861's song. Level 3 and lower personnel are to be misdirected to believe that SB861 is a unique entity. On blank blank 2000 blank at 2:34 a.m. a transmission was received by Outpost blank. There's so many blanks in this. a couple paragraphs. Jesus. The transmission was 1 minute 36 seconds long and consisted of a female voice speaking Latin, which footnote says extensive analysis has determined a connection between this voice and Emma Blank, a D-class personnel subjected to a choir event 27 hours previously. Said event was the most destructive on record, producing blank fatalities. It was determined that Outpost Blank had received a message from Sector 135-861 Psi Blank and Psi Blank simultaneously. However, no evidence was discovered that any such message had been sent. This is a translated transcript of message 861-blank. The proud do not burn and rage because we command it. The proud, blind as they are, refuse to see the light that shines infinitely brighter than theirs. We are vessels of the light, and for those that cannot see, we will make them feel. It is not our wish that the innocent perish in rage of the proud, but the pain of the guilty does not open eyes. You hold us because we allow it, and we wait because it has been willed. However, do not wait to lift the veil, for we shall only wait until the last of our brethren have descended and only a few remain. The known translated transcript of SB861 song, as well as the songs produced by SB861-blank and blank has been transferred to document blank 861, clearance 5 required. Whoo! Hot diggity damn. Again, I could not have guessed that a SB called the Fallen Angel would be made out of liquid and it just goes inside you once it's sang to you a little bit. All right, rats. Man, this Saturday's SCP has not given me anything to work with when it comes to the title. Usually, like, the title would say something, I can make a joke. But so far, Blue Key, Fallen Angel, Rats, there's nothing I can really say. Might be just a bunch of rats, dude. I don't know, made out of fucking duct tape. That's the biggest guess I can have. They're made out of duct tape, they walk around, they stick around. And then they tape you shut. Well, I wasn't so far off with calling them that they were not made out of flesh. But if I said porcelain, I would have been way closer. God, I'm thirsty. I ate an anchovy pizza. And I was waiting till I'm like halfway through to get my water out. But we'll be honest, the anchovy's kicking my ass. So, got a drink. Ooh. Aqua. Always keep hydrated. Sunnies, always be hydrated. A 6x6 meter bunker has been constructed around SB862 in order to prevent escape or signs of -1. The interior of the bunker is to be monitored by researchers via cameras placed inside the bunker outside of SB862's sphere of influence. The bunker is to be checked daily for breaches or escape instances of -1. In the event of a bunker breach, the rupture is to be immediately sealed with concrete and cement. Any escaped instances of -1 are to be tracked and destroyed by Mobile Task Force Beta 23 rat trappers. No materials or individuals are to enter SB862. So 862 is the bunker and -1 is the mouse. SCP-862 is an area spanning 10 square meters located in the city of blank blank. This area possesses a sphere of influence that affects all materials. Upon arriving at SCP-862, materials will begin to split into portions of 25 square centimeters. Over a period of time that varies depending on the consistency of the material, the affected portion will assume the shape and detail of a Rattus norvegicus, the common rat. Thank you. The affected portion will be dormant for much shorter than the length of time before animating and assuming the behavior of said rat. Affected portions will hereafter be referred to as SCP-862-1. Okay, I see. So, okay. Let me read that again just to make sure. So, if I let my phone in there, this phone would then slowly shape into a rat. If I let, because I assume I was about to like, what if I throw a mouse in there? But yeah, so I assume whatever you leave in there just becomes a rat. But what about humans? Is it only materials? Instances of -1 do not require food or water, but exhibit the same properties as the material they are composed of, and the rate of decomposition is unaffected in organic materials. Due to the composition, some instances of -1 are difficult to destroy, but liquid or gas instances can be destroyed with extremely light impacts. Solid instances of -1 can register pain and survive trauma far exceeding that of regular rats, such as loss of limbs, heavy trauma, and dissection. Over blank instances of -1 are currently present in the containment bunker, which include, but not limited to, blank instances composed of concrete, cement, tarmac, glass, wood, plastic, metal, suspended water, the remains of original recovery team, uniform of the original recovery team, the weapons of the original recovery team, and the ammunition of the original recovery team. Instances of -1 composed of air are regularly created but are destroyed near instantly as they collapse when exposed to the slightest pressure. How the fuck? Instances of -1 composed of air are regularly created but are destroyed near instantly as they... So they are just air rats walking around, but in the moment you like boop them, they're like gone. Which makes sense, they're made out of air, so yeah. This seems like a cool idea to add to my one of the future episodes of the SCP show. I need to finish the 4th script. I need to finish that. But yeah, no, this is a cute one. This is okay. This was nice. You know, it's like didn't feel that bad. I didn't feel like that dangerous. So what do we have here? Patchwork crabs. Okay, so let's guess what it could be. I assume crabs that, you know how like when you have back in the days, or I think like in like 80s to 90s cartoon, you can see it the best. Whenever like somebody had to rip a hole in the pants and they just put a patch over it and sew it together. So I imagine that's what the crab is made out of, just pure patches, just a crab, and it's just like. I do want, but is it water resistant though? If it's made out of like does it fall apart once it's in water? What do you think, Henry?
We'll find out. Safe.
That's the 3rd save, and a specimen log. My voice is leaving me. I was reacting to Demon Slayer episode 7 until 10 of the Entertainment District, so I was screaming a lot, and my voice is leaving me. -1 is to be contained in a 2 × 2 meter enclosure and provided with nutrition as detailed in nutritional chart -1-1 due to its low risk of breaching containment. SCP-863-1 is to be kept under guard by 1 member of security. In the event of limb loss, dash 1 is to be provided with a replacement from a similarly proportional crab. Okay. Dash 2 is to be contained in a 6x6 meter enclosure and provided with nutrition as detailed as in nutritional chart dash 2-1. Dash 2 is to be kept under guard by 2 members of security in the event of a limb loss. Security. In the event of a limb loss, dash 2 is to be provided with a suitable replacement. And I can see already this guy has a whole new arm. SB 863-1 in its enclosure. Is it missing an arm still? Like, it's like I assume that yellow arm is the replacement arm, but I don't see his right arm. And there's a dash 3 to be contained in a 10x10 meter enclosure, 10x10, excuse me, and provided with nutrition via robotic arm as detailed in nutritional chart dash 3-1. Dash 3 is to be kept under guard by 6 members of security at all times. No personnel are to enter dash 3's containment enclosure. In the event of limb loss, dash 3 is to be provided with a cadaver as a replacement. Okay. So dash 1 gets a proportional crab replacement arm. The other one gets a just a suitable replacement, which we don't know what that means. Could just be that instead of a crab arm, it just gets tongues. And dash 3 gets a cadaver. So that's any specimens of SCP-863 found in the wild are to be destroyed. Description: SCP-863 is a species of crab commonly found in areas of blank. SCP-863 specimens, when first born, measure roughly 3 centimeters in height and 1 gram in weight. Okay, they're pretty small, but are capable of growing up to the size of dildo expunged. When fully grown, specimens superficially resemble the Japanese spider crab. Those things are freaky. Have you guys ever seen a spider crab? If not, I'm going to show you one. Yeah, look at those things. Look at that. They're fucking massive. Imagine that shit. Imagine you just like you just have goggles on, you put your head underneath the ocean water, and that's the thing just like right there. Just like walking around, just casual. Look at this. Oh hey, I didn't know that you can catch one. I mean, I don't play Animal Crossing as often as most of my friends do, but I didn't know you can actually catch one in that game. I would freak out if I caught one in real life. Just like fishing a little bit and then like I'm so sorry. I'll leave. Specimens of SCP-863 are born without limbs and undergo a process in which they utilize the limbs of other organisms or even whole organisms in lieu of their own. They're basically Frankenstein crabs. Frankenstein monster crabs. All the limbs are not made out of their own body. They just attach themselves. From birth, SCP-863 moves himself across the ground by sliding using several tendrils attached to the limb joints. When specimens of SCP-863 located a suitable sized limb or organism, they will puncture it using the tendrils, which will then retract and slot the organism or limb into the limb joint. Using a series of electrical pulses, SCP-863 will then manipulate the limb or organism and nervous system. This process is not perfect, and the utilized limb or organism will typically twitch or jerk periodically. That's because my axe is stuck in his nervous system. Specimens of SCP-863 are highly territorial, and large specimens can cause severe injuries or death when provoked. Groups of SCP-863 have been observed to, on occasion, actively hunt for the other organisms to remove limbs from. Larger specimens will simply utilize these organisms wholesale, as the limbs would not be suitable for specimens of that size. And here we have a, what was it, specimen log. -1, right arm pincer from Cabilius convexus, and left arm pincer from Ranina. 4 legs from Callioparcurus, 2 from Ranina. Okay, so now I gotta look that shit up because I don't speak that language. I don't have animals memorized in this language. So, okay, so he has 1 pincer from this crab, and another pincer, and legs from this one that's coming up right now. Bam. Wow. Yeah, you can see now, like, those pincers are a bit thicker, and those are a bit longer. Man, the body balance must be so weird. And now he also has 4 legs from this, but he also has 2 legs from that. Those legs are pretty stumpy, and this, but he doesn't have legs from this. But this guy's legs are like way thinner. But legs from this. Okay. Here we go. SB-2. Right arm awaiting replacement. Left arm human hand taken from a cadaver. 2 hooves from a mountain goat. 3 legs from a dog. And 1 arm from a bear. Wild. SCPs, man. Right arm, a human cadaver, like the whole ass human. Is Dash 3 the size of like those fucking rock crabs from Skyrim? Like those, like, or like the. But there's also crabs in Elden Ring now, right? There's like those giant enormous ones in Elden Ring. Left arm blank life signs normal. Sea containment breach -3-1. 6 legs taken from human. Oh boy. Oh boy. This guy. This guy. This bitch stole my legs. But that must be so freaky to look at, especially the number 2. The second crab with like all these different animals, like goats, dogs, and all that, and bear, and a human hand. Imagine that kind of crab walking towards you, like. I would be terrified. I'd be like, what the fuck kind of mad scientist experiment was this? Who made this? Who decided that the Red Frankenstein's monster, like Frankenstein, the book by Mary Shelley, and we're like, you know, I can beat this. I can make this even weirder. Efficient wash basin. I assume it's a wash basin that's so good, not only does it get rid of the stains, it gets rid of the clothes as well, and your skin. Like if you rub it too hard, it's just. Wait, that's not a wash basin, is it? Am I thinking of something else? Ah. Never mind. I was thinking of like that thing that people used to like wash clothes, like the. Yeah, never mind. So. A sink. Is what I gather here. A sink is a wash basin. So efficient. So oops. Well, you see it now, but okay. Let's just read it. Euclid. Oh, that looks. I might just say it. That doesn't look right. I feel like there shouldn't be a octopus coming out of the bucket. in something that you potentially have to use to wash, I'm just gonna say, maybe not a good sign. SB864 is to be held in the standard containment chamber located inside 77's Euclid SCP wing. This chamber is to be kept devoid of any moisture and inspected once a day to check the seal. During testing, no personnel are to enter the testing area. In the event that articles of clothing manifest, they are to be stored as non-anomalous artifacts. Description: SB864 is a 20 centimeter tall wash basin with a 10 meter radius. 10 centimeters, not 10 meter. That would be huge. 10 centimeter radius, composed of red metal, commonly found in wash basins. The word "made in China" and "Cherry Imperial Golf" application are imprinted on the bottom with black ink. No company of that name is found anywhere in China, of course, as it is natural to the the SCP lore. When it says it's made from a company, usually it's not actually made by that company. Or that company doesn't exist. One or the other. When SCP-864 contains at least 200 milliliters of water, it will manifest an instance of -1. Is that -1 right there? Yes, it is. I just read what it says underneath that picture. Instances of -1 designates a series of appendages which have appeared from SCP-864. Instances of -1 may attempt to seize a human subject within their reach. You better fucking not, or else I'm gonna make calamari out of you, whatever you are. I mean, it looks like a tentacle, like an octopus tentacle, but I might be wrong. Might be something else. Might be alien. And violently pull them into SCP-864. Instances of -1 do not always attempt to take the subject, with tests showing that the majority of -1 instances will make no attempt to attack human subjects. No subject taken through SCP-864 have been recovered. How does it just like, is there just a black hole in there that just like, it just sucks you in? Instances of -1 known to have manifested include, oh, so there's multiple things. It's not just a tentacle thing. Okay, fantastic. I have to check the Discord because I feel like a lot of people have been saying things. Oh yeah, she does have a snake now. Her name is Sugar. Sugar! Trust me! No, sorry. Danger Noodle. Yeah, she got a snake now. Let me see a close-up picture. Oh, look. It's a small snake. Small snake. Why is it always people in New York that I see having snakes? I don't have any other friends from any other area in America that just says like, yeah, I have a snake as a pet. It's only people in New York that I know that have snakes. Okay, so here we have what the hazmat. 4 human arms. Estimated to be 60 centimeters long, lurched after the D-class personnel were not able to catch him. Retreated into SB-864 after being engaged by 4 security personnel. Honestly, let's just be honest, I would be a bit freaked out if I saw a arm coming out of the sink, like Freddy Krueger coming out of the bathtub. Just like, yeah. And trying to like grab me. Humanoid appendages resembling SCP-1193, we all know that. But we're close to you, boy. We're getting close to you. Did not respond to stimuli and withdrew during SCP-1193's next activation event. Oh. 7 black cephalic tentacles, here we go, approximately 90 centimeters long and about 10 centimeters in diameter at the base, attempting to push SCP-864 on its side and take several articles of clothing left in the testing chamber, instantly manifested on its own. 3 dark green crustacean pincers estimated to be 70 centimeters long, attempted to drown a D-class personnel until supervising guards managed to free her. Instance retreated after being engaged by Agent Boyd. 6 segmented mechanical claws, approximately 1 meter in length, seized a D-class personnel and a guard trying to peer the arm loose. Instances folded into SCP-864. 3 red cephalic tentacles, estimated to be 3 meters in length, attempted to seize a D-class personnel, but 1 instance was severed by a guard with a knife. The 2 other instances retreated, and the several portions showed no anomalous properties. So it doesn't look like they try to actually like pull you into the wash basin. They just try to just pull you in. Maybe drown you, you know. still a bit fucked to see all that stuff coming out of your sink. Testing has shown that SCP-864 extends a distance of 2 kilometers when manifesting an instance of SCP-864-1, after which it terminates in a steel hatch with the words Black Dragon Co. embossed in it. Robotic drones sent inside of SCP-864 have found that while active, the interior is composed entirely of -1 instance handling various garments. As of the 1st 16th 2013, approximately 11% of these have been identified as originating from Earth. Of those, only 32 appear to originate from after 1900. This is the image behind the image of this is really freaky. I like it. I like it a lot. Well, we reached the halfway point. I'm glad. I'm glad that these are shorter to read, because it's just nice, a bit nice and relaxing. You know, I don't have to. I remember when they were like almost 3 hours long to read, and one of them was even like 4 hours. So it's nice to have like 2 hours average time to read these things. I feel like 2 hours to read SCPs is a good way to measure how long they should be. But of course, the people that create these SCPs don't think that somebody like me would read 10 in a row for streaming. that was not their intention. They didn't be like, oh, some dude in the future is gonna probably read this live to an audience or and post it on YouTube. Maybe you should keep it a bit short so it doesn't get out of breath. Of course not. The Gentleman's Lash. I don't know what to take from this. I don't know what to. What should I? What's a lash, first of all? Strike or beat with a whip or stick. Okay. What if? What if it's a stick or a whip that the moment you get hit by it, you become a true gentleman. A true gentleman. You get hit by it, bam! Suddenly, you have a suit on, you have a top hat on, you walk around, be like, lady, and you open up the door, you put the jacket on the on the puddle. It's like, you should not walk over this, milady. Let me carry you the rest of the way. Let me pay your bills. And so on and so forth. Like, what if it's that? We never know. We never know. It could be. And the lash is to bring discipline. Okay, let's see how long it is combined with all this. Oh, that's decent. That's normal. That's normal to read. Save. That was a lot of save. I think that was like 4 saves, 1 Keter, 1 Euclid, if I recall correctly. My eye. SCP-865 is to be kept unloaded in a lock. Unloaded? Hey, this when I read lash, I read like whip or a stick. I didn't. Is this a gun? Is this a gun that makes you do the gentleman like duel where you like back to back and you walk away and you turn around? Locked firearm safe in a secure archive room at Site 73. SCP-865 is to be equipped with a trigger lock when not being tested and is to be marked with a tag indicating that it's non-functional and is not to be deployed in case of emergency. As of blank 2000 blank, all test firing of SCP-865 are to be conducted by and on D-Class personnel only. So, a D-Class gets to shoot at a D-Class. Hopefully it doesn't kill them. Hopefully there's like the reborn logic where Tuna gets headshot, but then he just like gets superpowers. No other stuff All staff are to be within visual range of SCP-865 during testing. D-Class involved in testing are to be fitted with explosive collars and informed that any attempts at disobedience or resistance will result in summary termination. SCP-865 is to be disassembled, cleaned, and reassembled before and after testing by a staff member trained in firearms maintenance. All test subjects have to be debriefed and monitored for lasting psychological effects. Description: SCP-865 is a handgun of unknown make. I literally did not think it would be a handgun. I thought it was going to be a whip, a stick, a paddle, anything else. Superficially similar to a CIG Sauer, P-20 226 of the type manufactured after 1996 and bearing no identifying marks. Well, let's see what this looks like. See, for me, that just looks like a handgun. I was just call this a handgun, but of course, for all the gun nerds out there and for all the forensic scientists who have to know which bullet comes from what gun, they would immediately recognize that. I look at that, and be like, it looks like a handgun, like any other one for me. SCP-865 can be disassembled, cleaned, and reassembled in the same manner as a normal pistol of its type. Several circuit boards and microprocessors have been incorporated into SCP-865's grip. The purpose of these devices is not fully understood at this time. SCP-865 is capable of chambering any round compatible with the P-2026. Well, how do you say this? Do you just say P-226? Well, you say 45, right? For like, AK-47, so you would say P-226, I guess. And is compatible with standard size and extended length magazines. When fired, SCP-865 produced there's a muffled report similar to that made by a firearm with a suppressor attached, and a shell casing is ejected from the weapon side. The bullet itself is not ejected from the barrel. High-speed photography has indicated that only trace amounts of powder and steam are emitted when SCP-865 is fired. Attempts to determine what happens to the bullet when SCP-865 is fired have yielded no results. Interesting. So, a bullet does not come out. When fired into the air at inanimate objects or at non-human animals. So animals. Right? What? At non-human animals? What do you mean? You just mean regular animals, or like you're basically saying anything that's not human, I guess. SCP-865 presents no anomalous effects. When fired at a human being, the target immediately reacts as if the body part SCP-865 was aimed at when fired were in intense pain. Test subjects have claimed detailed memories of suffering a severe accidental injury to the targeted body, and will behave at all times as if the memory is factual, up to and including mimicry of conditions associated with paraplegia, amputation, infection, or brain damage. Physical examination of test subjects indicate that no physical change occurs in body parts of SCP-865 has been fired at. To date, no fatalities have resulted from SCP-865 testing. When fired at oneself, SCP-865 has no effect other than inflicting burns to the unignited gunpowder. SCP-865 was acquired by the Foundation on blank 2000 blank during a raid on a warehouse owned by a front company associated with Marshall Call the Dog. Of course it's them. Listen, anything that's like that basically is like a common human object, humanly made object with a dark twist, usually is made by these fuckers. It's usually made by those guys. SCP-865 was found in a glass display case with a paper containing the following copy, believed to have been written as an advertisement. The end result of over 17 years of research and development, the MCD-276 BPD represents the ultimate in non-lethal discipline for the discreet gentleman who expects the most from his subordinates. Each round fired from his handcrafted custom-made device is capable of transmitting up to 7.2 kilostates of psychological trauma to its target and is 100% guaranteed to leave no incriminating wounds, bruises, or scars. For your convenience, the MCD-226 BPD may be loaded with any standard ammunition for a weapon of its type, or with our custom-made MCD BPT ammunition. Item 231-01943-561-581-3 sold separately. For best result and seamless shell disposal, a wide variety of customization options are available. Consult one of our client satisfaction specialists to help create a model that best fits your style and demeanor. It is unknown at this time whether SCP-865 is a prototype or whether other devices of its type have been developed and distributed by Marshall Collin Dark to date. And here's the experiment log. So it's a weapon of discipline, but they still feel like they got shot, and they show signs of like physical or mental trauma. So it doesn't really work well for disciplining. It just traumatizes people. That's not really discipline. I mean, disciplining is in certain cases can be on the verge of traumatization, but like right between the really depending on the type of discipline, it can really step over the edge. But this is clearly stepping over the edge for me. All tests conducted by Dr. J. Everly on blank blank 2000 blank. Time 9:38 a.m. D34021. Procedure: Dr. Everly aimed SCP-865 at D34021's abdomen and fired twice. Why would you fire twice? Just fire once. Result: D34021 suffered intense gastrointestinal distress for several days. In the briefing, he claimed his appendix has been inflamed and had been removed the week prior. Okay. Man, my lips are chapped. Time 10:48 a.m. D23304. Dr. Everly held SCP-865 next to D23304's left ear and fired into the air. So to see if there's any sounds happening. D23304 reported complete hearing loss in the left ear and severe tinnitus in the right. D23304 claimed to have been guitarist for the heavy metal band Redacted from 1976, at which time he was 7 years old, to 1982, and to have suffered severe hearing loss as a result of the volume the group performed at. Oh. Okay. Yes, because so they come up with reasons why they have certain pain in certain area, I guess. 12:13 p.m. D95204. Dr. Everly fired SCP-864 4 times at D95204 spine. This person must be paralyzed now. I mean, depending on where he shot it, but I feel like when your spine gets injured, it's not good. D95204 exhibited symptoms of paraplegia and claimed to be unable to move or feel his legs, and claimed to have been in a wheelchair bound since the age of 14 as the result of skiing accident. So the gun implants memories of how your body has come to the state, even though it clearly wasn't that before. When asked to reconcile this with the fact that he had murdered 2 people while fleeing a bank robbery on foot the year before, D95204 was unable to satisfactorily explain the contradiction. Yeah, of course, because it doesn't make sense. It just has a reason why they're in this, how they came into this state, but it probably contradicts a lot of the normal life. Time 3:02 p.m. D11501. Dr. Everly fired SCP-865 point blank into D11501's cranium. D11501 became comatose for 6 days. Upon recovering, D11501 exhibits signs of severe brain damage and amnesia, and an IQ test administered by medical staff produced a score of 65. D11501 lacked the mental faculties to explain how or why he had become thusly impaired. Hide addendum. On blank blank 2000 blank, 2 days after the A series of tests described above. Dr. Everly reported to the Site 73 infirmary, reporting that she had discovered a large scar on her abdomen that she did not recall acquiring. Dr. Anderson identified the mark as a Caesarean section scar. An examination of Dr. Everly's records indicate that she had undergone a C-section in 1998 and that her child had died of congenital defect 6 hours after delivery. Dr. Everly denied undergoing a C-section and has stated that she has never been pregnant. It appears that SB865 has an effect on the user that is inversely related to its effect on the target. It erases traumatic memories in the person pulling the trigger and inflicts new one on the target. In light of this discovery, I recommend that any further testing be conducted by D-Class. We can't afford to have good people losing their minds over this thing. Dr. S. Blank Samish, request granted 05 blank. I like how he says, like, we can't afford good people. And again, it's fair. It's fair. The D-Class are criminals and all that. But still, it's kind of unfair. Like, it's like, yeah, we let them cause trauma to each other. So okay, so it looks like it takes away trauma and inflicts trauma on somebody else. Interesting. This is a very cool concept. The gentleman slash. I just didn't expect it to be a gun. I will be 100% honest with you. Did not expect it to be a gun. Oh, I gotta open up another bottle of water. That wasn't enough. I'm not satisfied. And anchovies, man. Anchovies do this to you. Supercomputer. I assume it's a computer that not only does it have Google, Bing, Yahoo. It can read minds. That's what I'm gonna say. Oh boy. Euclid, hey, second Euclid, welcome to the Euclid family. SB866 is to be contained inside 2, in the HPC center of the blank University in blank floor blank containing SB866 is to be permanently sealed off to all but authorized SB personnel. At least 2 SB8 personnel should monitor the diesel backup generators at all times, as a complete power failure could lead to unquantifiable loss of personal and civilian casualties, unquantifiable loss of equipment, complete loss of acquired experimental data, and in the worst case, data expunged. Access to the input terminals is allowed only with permission of level 4 staff. At least 2 guards should be stationed in the room of SB866 and prevent any individuals from entering SB866 beyond the input terminals. Unauthorized attempts of access should be logged, but due to the location of the containment, extreme measures should be avoided if possible. SB866 is a blank series supercomputer constructed in 2000 blank. Its anomalous properties were discovered when the system proved capable of running computation jobs with more processors than physically available. Subsequent attempts to determine the reason for this behavior have failed, but have caused blank university employees to disappear. Okay. At first I was like, listen. If it just does a better job at being a computer, that's not really... I don't think that warrants an SCP thing. There was like another SCP that I read like a long time ago. That sounded like a regular disease. It didn't sound like an SCP. It just sounded like a disease. And I was not quite sure how that should be considered an SCP. See addendum 1.1a for details. Foundation operators determine the system has non-Euclidean geometry in the computation node rack topology, possibly a polydimensional n-hypercube structure. This, however, does not account for the reason for the anomalous computation, only for the speed. An attempt to remove SCP-866 from the power supply has resulted in immediate data expunged, resulting in blank displacement and disappearance, including the entire recovery team. See redacted for additional information. In Site-2 containment measures have been devised. God, just punched my mic. Addendum 1. SCP-866 has been successfully used by the Foundation staff for a large-scale simulation and computation. At this time, the limit, if any, to SCP-866 computational capacity is not known. Access to the machine can be made remotely by anyone possessing a student or staff account for the blank university system. Addition of a redactor prevents non-Foundation access. Addendum 1.1a. Blank of the university employees have since been discovered. Professor Blank has been found in the building's basement by janitorial staff. Analysis of the remains has shown that his death occurred roughly at the same time as the attempts to remove SCP-866 from the power supply. He was found redacted wall. Position of the body suggests Professor Blank was initially alive while in the basement. The words "illegible died" to a rounding error were written in his own blood. Radar scans of the building's concrete walls are ongoing, but have failed to find anything of note. Research assistant Dr. Blank has been found in Lagrangian point L3 through unrelated observation regarding redacted. Addendum 2. An analysis of currently running jobs shows that less than 5% of tasks are the result of Foundation personnel. This value could not be increased through an increase in jobs submitted, suggesting non-linear relation between job size and the machine's resources. Attempts to identify the nature of the other jobs have proven so far unsuccessful. Largest observed jobs up to date still running are the TSTWRLD1 to TSTWRLD4 and series submitted by A00002 and taking 20% of the total machine resources each. Further analysis required. Addendum 3. Log recovered after attempt to remove from power supply failed. Investigation log. I think I have to be a computer. I have to understand computers a bit more to make this heads or tails from this. Activity logs have recorded the following output. Where investigation required priority redacted. Okay, so listen. It almost felt like a normal, like regular thing until it said that people have disappeared or been killed when trying to remove it. So that's an interesting aspect of it. Because it's like a computer that works better than what it actually should. And the moment you're like, I want to take this, or I need to move it away, it's like, no. No, you don't. What is happening here? I see what's happening here. Oops, hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay. I see what's happening here. Oh yeah, shit, puppy. How do you spell the snake's name? Jungle book. I keep car, right? Like this? Yeah. Yes. There we go. That's dealt with. Okay. Last 3 to go. Last 3 to go. Blood spruce. Oh god. Blood spruce. Blood spruce. What could that be? A spruce that's like a beginning phase of that's a tree, right? Yeah, yes. I was about to say like it's the beginning of a tree, but no, it actually is a tree. Like it's is spruce Tannenbaum? Hold on. Eine Fichte. Okay. And but that is like really? Pine tree, yeah, it's a pine tree, that's what it was. It translates Tannenbaum into Christmas tree. Oh no, Google. That's not correct. That's not you should not, no, okay. Let's just go on. Yeah, I think it's a spruce, it's a tree that bleeds. Instead of like hearts, which I also forgot what that is in English right now. What is that? Oh my god, the fucking mosquito was encapsulated in that in Jurassic Park. It's the words are failing me. Oh well. Euclid specimens of SCP-867 are kept in section E of biocontainment site blank. Regular maintenance on SCP-867 is only to be performed using remote rovers and automated irrigation systems, and personnel entering the containment area for any reason must wear full body NBC protection with a Kevlar underlayer. Any personnel exiting SCP-867's containment area must undergo a full herbicidal treatment and inspection, and any personnel found with possible puncture marks must be placed under quarantine for a minimum of 15 days. Experimentation with SCP-867 requires the written consent of at least 2 Level 3 personnel. SCP-867 is a species of is a species of coniferous tree, visually similar to a Picea punctans or blue spruce, except for its distinctive red coloration and complete lack of seeds, cones at any stage in its life.
It bleeds. Tell me, do you bleed? You will be. You will be bleeding. Big time. Yeah. Great, start the reactor.
SB-867. Jesus, sorry. I was building up. Leaves are hollow structures similar to hypodermic needles containing a single long, thin seed and a tiny gas pocket at the base of the leaf. When a living animal brushes against the leaves, the gas pocket expels and injects the seed into the skin of the animal using a mechanism similar to that of an auto-injector. The tiny size of the seed, which is coated with a liquid with anesthetic and calculant properties, renders the injection essentially undetectable. These seeds can lay dormant in the skin of an animal for up to 2. That's why it doesn't grow with water or earth.
It grows with your skin and blood.
After which the seed begins to grow, extending tendrils throughout the host animal's circulatory system. That's fucked. This growth causes excruciating pain within the host animal, can last for up to 24 hours, and invariably ends with the host's death. Following host death, the new SCP-867 specimens will burst from the host body and grow to full maturity within 30 days, consuming the host body in the process. SCP-867 was first discovered in Dale Expunged, Colorado, following a bizarre series of disappearances of hikers and park rangers in the area in 1990 blank. God damn. My lips. Feel so rough. A foundation team was dispatched and able to retrieve several young specimens of SCP-867 with acceptable losses. All wild specimens of SCP-867, approximately blank in number, were destroyed. I'm just gonna say it. That SCP is very metal. Very metal. I mean, the fact that it's a tree that grows out of your body, dude. And it's red. It's metal as fuck. I think it's the last two ones, eh? Okay. Mnemonic meme. What does this word mean? A system such as a pattern of letters, ideas, or association with assists in remembering something. Ah, yes. I haven't heard that word in fucking ages. What is this? My very educated mother just served us noodles. Ah, yes. That helps you to memorize Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. I see. Where the fuck's Pluto at, hey? My very educated mother just served us noodles. Pog. for the newer kids around here. Hey, look. Nice. I just now realized this. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Euclid Nunti. There's some new ones that I don't fully understand what those mean. There was another one that was like swap between two different ones and so on and so forth. So there's some weird ones. I gotta say, there's some weird ones in the mix. In the mix, indeed. Just need to check something, guys. Okay. Back to it. 2D class personnel infected with SCP-868 are to be maintained in a soundproof humanoid containment cell supervised by at least one armed guard. Personnel wishing to experiment with SCP-868 must submit to an interrogation and background check to confirm their loyalty to the Foundation and its methods. All persons suspected of hosting SCP-868, along with all persons living in a community where an infectee has been located, are to be tested for infection. Any subject found to be a victim of SCP-868 must be treated with is that amnestics or M868? Should a population treated with M868 exhibit a noticeable amount of unusual behavior, a follow-up amnestic should be distributed. I already forgot what the title is. Yeah. Mnemonic meme, that's what it was. Any reports of SCP-868 infection in the general population are to be treated as a breach of secrecy, excuse me. Personnel spreading SCP-868 intentionally or attempting to access the current carrier of SCP-868 without following the protocols are to be court-martialed if applicable and stripped of all security clearance otherwise. Addendum: SCP-868 is a meme that results from a memory improvement therapy designed by Prometheus Labs Incorporated. Surviving documents indicate that the researchers responsible for creating SCP-868 were unaware of its memetic properties until shortly before the facility was destroyed. The process and materials necessary for administering this treatment have not been recovered, although recovered materials do not indicate that its creation required anomalous items. SCP-868 transfer mechanism is poorly understood. However, it is believed to be transferred via two-way verbal communication with an infected subject for no less than 30 minutes, with symptoms manifesting between 4 and 9 days after infection. Footnote says, repeated testing has shown that the content, tone, and language of the conversation is irrelevant. It is hypothesized that SCP-868 alters the subject's behavior in a manner that is too subtle to detect with current methods. Stage 1 symptoms typically include a significantly improved short-term memory, with subjects typically being able to clearly remember events and information for 80% longer than they would otherwise. On average, subjects also report the ability to recall events that happened after initial infection with greater accuracy than they would otherwise. This has been confirmed by testing. The effects of SB868 become more pronounced the longer the subject is exposed to the meme. Stage 2, SB of my brain. Stage 2 effects of SB868 become apparent roughly 5 weeks after infection. Prior to this, subjects are frequently able to remember with near perfect accuracy any event or information received after contacting SB868 and from several days before. However, over the course of between 1 and 5 days, directly proportionally to the subject's age, this effect extends to encompass the subject's entire lifespan. This just sounds like you have good memories. I don't see the problem with it.
Kill me.
SB868 possesses a significant risk to the Foundation interest due to its interaction with subjects that have been affected by amnestics. Testing has shown that hosting SB868 for any amount of time is sufficient to prevent amnestics from affecting its memories. In addition, during the second stage of the infection, SB868 completely negates the effects of any amnestic administered at any point in the subject's life, potentially allowing the subject to remember sensitive or dangerous information. This has held true for all tested methods of inducing amnesia, both natural and man-made. Crossed out. See Addendum 2. Prior to its full containment, SB868 caused 5 secrecy breaches, necessitating the termination of redacted individuals to prevent the spread of sensitive information regarding the Foundation, SAV subjects, and other classified data. Subject cleanup and cover-ups have cost an additional blank redacted dollars. Well, yeah, redacted dollars. Then why did I say blank? Containment breaches after its containment have required an additional redacted to contain. Addendum 1. In June 19 blank, Doctors Carson and Basek received access to SCP-868 after filing the relevant paperwork, which it says here. At this point in time, SB868 was classified as safe and its containment procedure were minimal. Approximately 6 weeks later, reports from blank Bangladesh indicate that residents have become aware of the existence of SB blank, which had been recovered from that location 3 years previously. Investigation revealed that the village had some outlying areas had been infected with SB868 because 868 had not been created at this point. It was necessary to neutralize the village under the pretense of a flood. Under interrogation, both personnel administered to releasing SB868. See Incident Report 7 for details. Addendum 2. So, basically, you just have perfect memory, even of things that you were supposed to forget, which is problematic in the SB Foundation universe if you want people to not think or remember. The SCPs and the Foundation and the agents. Oh god. The water and anchovies are battling inside my stomach. In November 2008, Foundation researchers developed a Class B amnestic. Class A and C versions are currently under development. Oh, is this supposed to like 868 that was capable of reversing the effects of SB868 and prevent spread of the infection? Is this like the origin of amnestic? I don't think it is, because I'm pretty sure there were other SCPs before 2008 that had to be used amnestic against. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. In 70% of cases, 868 will only cause mild side effects, specifically severe headaches, with an estimated 10% of those at risk developing early onset Alzheimer's disease. In the remaining 3%, 868 will function, but it will also cause self-destruction tendencies and prolonged antisocial behavior. See redacted for details. Okay, that was the second last one. I can see that for the foundation it's a troublesome SCP, but I feel like for real life, just being able to like fully remember everything seems pretty decent. Seems pretty okay. Last one, summer of 48.
I know what you did last summer.
No. No, you didn't. Okay. Summer of 48. What could this be? Well, is summer of 48 something weird happened during that time? 48 was still like, was the end of World War II, wasn't it? So maybe, I don't know, like everyone was like, happily it's over, but then some like a group of soldiers vanished, which was weird because the war was over. Something like that, maybe. Oh boy. Oh baby. That's not too bad. Okay, last one. We won't be done in 8 minutes, but we will be done within a good amount of time, which is nice. Euclid. Rating, decent. File full of facility housing SBA 69 taking part to containment. The facility housing SBA 69 is to be owned and operated by a Supertastic Carnival Promotion, a foundation fund company, and is to remain in operation open to public for its intended purpose. A secondary service bridge is to be built to replace SBA 869. SBA 869 is to remain closed to park staff and the public. Both ends of SBA 869 are to be monitored by foundation personnel operating a park security officers for the purpose of preventing unauthorized access. All service of SBA 869 and the area beyond are to be conducted by level 1 personnel operating in groups of 3 or more. Survey personnel to be dressed in clothing appropriate to late 1940s mainstream American fashion and are to carry no more than $10 in pre-1948 U.S. currency, as well as period-appropriate identification badges identifying them as local police, FBI agents, or foundation personnel as necessary to facilitate interaction with park officials. Personnel conducting surveys are not to carry any equipment, technology, or personnel effects that were not available to the foundation in 1948. Personnel are to exit SBA 69 no later than 8 p.m., 1 hour prior to the park's scheduled closing time. Here we go, description. SBA 869 is a service bridge attached to the blank historic pleasure pier, an amusement park located on a pier extending over the ocean in the U.S. state of Redacted. SBA 869 was built in 2000 blank, concurrent to the construction of the park itself, a recreation of an earlier pleasure pier which existed on the same site from 1940 blank until it was severely damaged by hurricane redacted in 19 blank and subsequently demolished. Okay, I'll be honest, I did not expect this thing to be built in 2000 blank when it says summer of 48. Although it might be 2048. We don't know. But that can also not be because this picture does not speak 2048 to me. This right here. You see this? This does not speak 2048. Does not exude 2048 Aura. SB869 anomalous properties manifest whenever the park is open for business and none of the park's attractions have been closed to the inclement weather. This is Euclid, right? Yes. When these conditions are met, approximately blank percentage of persons crossing SB869 from the landward side to the pier on foot or in a vehicle will not arrive at the... Wait, hold on. Crossing SB869 from the landward side to the pier on foot or in a vehicle will not arrive at the pier and will lose visual contact with land and pier-based observers approximately the halfway point between the bridge termini. The area that persons so afflicted arrive at based on forensic analysis of photographs taken by survey teams is physically identical to the original pleasure pier constructed on the site as it exists to the summer of 1948. So, do you time travel back? Do I understand this correctly? Because it says here... they will lose visual contact with the land, and then I think they should step into a bubble that's stuck in the 1948. I assume. In all surveys conducted since the discovery of SCP-869 properties oh, by the way, nice. The number. 69. Yeah. Properties interviews with civilians found within the anomaly and evidence recovered in the form of calendars and newspaper indicate that the date within the anomaly is Saturday, July 24th, 1948. Blank years after the original pleasure pier opened for business. Local time within the anomaly is consistent with the time of day outside. Surveys have indicated that events within the anomaly occur consistently in the same manner at the same time as during all previous observations, except when survey team members are directly involved, and no occasion has any survey team spotted any previous survey teams within the anomaly. No means of direct communication across SB869 has been discovered to date. Radio, cellular, phone, satellite, and other wireless transmission have proven non-functional and attempts at laying a telephone line across SB869 and into the anomaly have consistently resulted in the cable laying team failing to enter the anomaly. In all cases where it has been attempted crossing back to the shore along SB869 from the anomaly prior to the close of business for the day, which on the 7/24/48 occurred at 9 p.m., has returned survey team members to the shore successfully. I got it. Survey team members exiting the pier within the anomaly by its main entrance have found that redacted mainland similar is identical to all in all mainland similarly is identical in all discernible ways to the state that it existed in 1948. In all cases where persons originating within the anomaly have been persuaded to cross SB869 to the mainland, that individual has not yet arrived on shore. All personnel remaining within the anomaly after the close of business have been lost. No indication of the presence or ultimate disposition of persons missing within the anomaly has been found on any subsequent survey. SB869 came to the Foundation attention shortly after the opening of the blank historic pleasure pier in 2000 blank and the subsequent disappearance of several park employees while crossing from land to pier. To date, 15 individuals are known to have become lost within SB869, comprising 11 civilians and 4 Foundation personnel. Refer to document 869-332-B for a full accounting of surveying actions and dossier on missing persons. Addendum 1, 7/30, 1948, on Monday, July 26th, an individual identifying himself as Dr. Blank Blank presented himself at Site 11, being an otherwise apparently valid identification badge that does not match any individual currently employed by the Foundation, claiming to be the Foundation researcher from blank blank of the year 2000 blank. That must be confusing. Because, yeah, okay. During the briefing, Blank claimed that he had become stuck in the present day while investigating an SCP object that does not yet exist at this time, and had reported to the nearest Foundation facility in accordance with protocol to corroborate his claims. He demonstrated knowledge of a wide variety of Foundation protocols, security procedures, and objects currently in containment. Yeah, this must... Okay, so this is... Because this is written from back then, right? They don't trust the fact that this guy came from the future. But it must be so weird being in the future, knowing what this does, and reading these logs and being like, man, we should have trusted the guy back then. Maybe they do. Let's see. Blank additional several claims regarding world events to occur late in 20th century and SCP objects not currently known to the Foundation or not currently in the Foundation custody. Dr. Blank was particularly insistent that the Foundation should terminate an 8-year-old boy residing in Dallas who had claimed would assassinate a future president of the United States, and that under no circumstances should a man named Thomas Wortham be recruited by the Foundation as a researcher. Dr. Blank additionally provided an SCP document represented above, which he stated was the containment file for the anomaly responsible for his arriving in this area. Based on Dr. Blank's demonstrated knowledge of Foundation procedures, his behavior during enhanced debriefing, and the nature of several other anomalous artifacts found on and in his person he claims are presumed to be genuine at this time, the Foundation is currently canvassing the blank area for any indication of the presence of the other missing persons referred to the above containment document. Dr. Blank has been treated with Class B and Class C amnestic and transferred to Site 73 for long-term observation pending determination of how to address the issue of other persons temporarily displaced as a result of SCP-869. But wait, hold on. Hold on, you gave one of your own people amnestics. Like, I understand that you might not trust him because, like, he's just claiming stuff from your point of view. Again, I hope with the Foundation of Future reads this, it's like, man, we fucked up. Well, not we, us back in the day. So how much time has passed? Like 24 days. All persons identified as having arrived in the present area as a result of SCP-869 are to be taken into Foundation custody as soon as possible. Subjects are to be debriefed and released into the civilian population after undergoing amnestic therapy. Fingerprints records from temporarily displaced persons are to be preserved to the purpose of testing to confirm the identity of persons reported missing within SCP-869 after its construction. Oh yeah, that's smart. The names of temporarily displaced persons are to be permanently expunged from the record. All foreknowledge of events yet to occur acquired from the briefing is to be made accessible to level 5 personnel only, and is to be referred to only for the purpose of verifying that subjects are genuine victims of temporal displacement. The Foundation is to take no action, directly or indirectly, based on foreknowledge acquired from persons temporarily displaced by SCP-869, either to prevent or to encourage the occurrence of events described therein. SCP-869 containment document is not to be filed in the central database. Once the construction of SCP-869 in 2000 blank, research personnel are not to be informed of the existence of this document. After SCP-869's containment file is approved and filed in the central database, it will be checked against the document above, after which revision to determine when and if the file document matches the content of the document above. Last but not least, Addendum 23. So now we are in the future. Also, this is a revised special containment procedure. I see. Okay. We're in the 5th, 30th, 2012. And 2 days before that, Dr. Jacob Andrews failed to return from a survey of SCP-869 by 9 p.m. and was not subsequently seen or heard from. As of that day, the copy of SCP-869 containment document filed in the central database was a word-for-word match for the SCP-869's containment document recovered by the Foundation in 1948. Comparison of Dr. Andrews' fingerprints against those archived following the initial recovery of the SCP-869 document in 1948 suggests a high probability that Dr. Andrews is the unnamed doctor who provided the documentation to the Foundation's subject Foundation. Subject-1, as he is referred to in later documents, remained in Foundation custody at Site-73 until he died in 1967 when SCP blank breached containment. Notes were found in Dr. Andrews' office after his disappearance, in which he stated that during his research he had come to the conclusion that SCP-869 represented a means of time travel from this era to one specific date in the past, and that he had decided to conduct an experiment to determine whether it was possible to use his knowledge of events yet to occur as of 1948 to alter the course of history. It can be assumed that his statement to the Foundation in 1948 regarding Lee Harvey Oswald and former site director Wortham comprised his attempt to make those changes to the course of history. Effective immediately, no personnel in conducting service within SCP-869 are to leave the pier by any means other than SCP-869 itself. Any proposal for experiments to alter the course of history or pass foreknowledge of post-1948 events to individuals within the anomaly are preemptively denied. Survey personnel are authorized to use lethal force to prevent attempts to violate this directive. I'm getting tired. It is impossible to determine to what extent Dr. Andrews and other persons lost within SCP-869 have affected the course of history from what it may have been prior to their becoming temporarily displaced, or whether any of those persons may still be alive. The Foundation has identified 21 people as having been displaced to 1948 as a result of SCP-869, given that only 15 people are mentioned in the original document and only 16 are known to have gone missing, including Dr. Andrews himself. It can be presumed that at least 5 more persons will be temporarily displaced by SCP-869 in the future. Coroner reports from 1948 indicate that 2 adult males who have been killed by gunshot washed up on the shore near blank in late July 1948. Bullets found within the remains were consistent with standard rounds used in sidearms issued to Foundation service teams operating within SCP-869. To the extent to which the bodies had decayed at the time of discovery and the incompleteness of the medical examiner's reports, it is impossible to determine whether those bodies represent victims of unrelated violence or persons yet to be lost within SCP-869. My voice, it's giving up. Alright, guys, here we go. Bam. It should be on. There it is. So here's my rating list from top enjoyment. So just to clarify once again, I will always clarify this every time I bring this up. So the lower ones, it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy them at all. It just means out of all the ones here, I enjoyed them the least. I think when it comes to like how much fun I had reading them, or how how cool the idea seems to me, that's what it is. At the end, they're all creative. I'm not here to knock anybody's work. But yeah, Patchwork Crafts, honestly. I think -2 definitely like solidified why I like this idea the most. Like just this mix mash of different body parts within this one crab, and it just seems like so eerie. Like the imagery is just very terrifying. The Gentleman's Lash, again, thought it was a stick. It wasn't. It was a gun. But I think the idea is really cool. Like that, the fact that it just takes your trauma. It doesn't matter if it's like physical or mental, and just you shoot at somebody else. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Blue Key, very strong start. Blue Key was definitely a strong start, gotta say. Because it's just a beast within the fog that kills you if you... I don't know. The only thing I wonder is, I assume 3 out of 4 subjects, or basically 2D class and 1 subject, bumped into that beast. Actually, no. 2 of them bumped into that beast. And the subject was in like a red fog of whispers and murmurs happening. So that's pretty creepy. But then, of course, the other D class was just like, I have to go, and then just leaves. And then a couple months pass, and suddenly they're like way older. but they are like much more friendly, like as if they almost got brainwashed, and it makes you wonder what happened to her. But she's not willing to tell you. Efficient wash basin, yeah, I mean anything coming out of the sink that's not supposed to come out of the sink. The only thing that should come out of the sink is like any blockage that you accidentally created, but not a arm or tentacle that should not come out. Blood spruce, that's just, it's metal. Come on. It's a red tree that just drops a seed into your body. It burrows into you, and then grows out. And it just feeds upon your blood. It feasts upon your blood. Rats, I think it's kind of cute. Like, I don't know, rats are not like really like beloved creatures, but I like the idea of you just throw in a random object. Like, you can just throw him in a can of Coke, and that just slowly like forms into a rat. A red rat with white writing. Fallen angel. There's a lot of like low accurate angels and media angels, and there's like different types of angels throughout different medias, and the fact that it's just a giant mass of liquid is something completely new to me, and I like that. I like that it's being creative in that aspect. Also, that it just goes into your mouth is crazy. Summer of 48, yeah. Time traveling is time travel is always a bit funky. It's just, I feel bad for that doctor, because he's like you gotta listen, man. Don't get this person into the Foundation. Don't allow him. And at the end, he still shows up. So, especially because they gave amnestics to him. That come on. I feel like that's the moment. That's where you as a Foundation doctor go like, why do we have these rules? Our own rules are messing me over. Mnemonic meme. Again, I don't think it's like a dangerous SCP, but for the Foundation's sake it is, because information that they try to like prevent from coming out or being spread around is being remembered really well. And the supercomputer, like I said, at first it just seems like a computer that's just stronger than its original brand and type. So at first I was like, yeah, it doesn't seem that odd. But then it's like, well, people die if they try to like move it from the power source. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's more like it. It's not much, but it's a good way to like make it an anomaly, you know. Because like at the end, like imagine that you find a computer and it's like super good. It's like better than any of the original brands or as I said, type of computer, and you just think to yourself like, I want to take that home, and you unplug it and suddenly you perish. But yeah, that was the 860s. Whew. I'm so tired. Tomorrow we shall read the 870s, and next weekend we will finish the 800s. And we will reach the 900s, the last 100 SCPs before we reach the first 1,000 numbers. Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy how many of these guys we read. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. There we go. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I'll see you all tomorrow. Wish you a very happy good morning. Well, good morning, afternoon, evening. Not a happy. Well, yes, I also wish you a happy one. If it goes that way, I'm happy for you. If it goes that way. If not, hey, keep your head up high. There's always another day to try. So, I hope I'll see you all tomorrow, and the Afro's with you.